congrats to Xavier. Really from the jump, they had us out of rhythm offensively, and forced us into some uncharacteristic turnovers, and then we really got beat up on the offensive glass. And we've been one of the better teams in the country from a defensive rebounding percentage on the season, and for it tonight. But all the credit goes to Xavier. They played really well on both ends of the floor, and we didn't have much juice tonight for whatever reason, but we've got to get past it and get ready for hopefully a big week next week.
Matt, obviously you like Kalkbrenner on Hunter for the advantage that Kalkbrenner can roam around as a shot blocker. I guess what you see there that they maybe took advantage of?
I don't know that Nunji really hurt us that much in the first half where they really stretched it out. It allows us to keep Ryan a little closer to the basket. If you got him on Nunji, he's going to stretch out. It worked pretty well in Omaha with the combination of Fremantle and Hunter. So we went back to it tonight.
Right in the middle, Marcus.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned about next week. What does your schedule look like in terms of moving past this game, resetting yourself? Do you kind of just start going over your own stuff? Do you throw away this film? How do you handle it?
I was just talking to R2 walking here. No, you don't throw it away. You watch it, you try to learn from it. You try to gain an understanding of why it happened. But then you also watch last night's game.
Right.
You try to gain an understanding of why that happened.
Right.
And what are the differences? Was it our opponent? Was it us? And what can we take from both of those and put it to use in the practice floor as we prepare for our first NCAA opponent?
On the right, Matt.
Greg, I just want to ask you, will you as a staff or as a team, since you're gonna have this gap, you're gonna sit either 6 or 7 days before you play again, will you take a moment to look back and everything that's been attached to the season, right? Highest preseason ranking, you played a hell of a final in Maui, you had that skid, but then you came back, you had some big wins, you kind of assess what you've accomplished here and use that as a springboard into next week, or are you more in the moment, let's not, think about stuff that might happen in November, December, and use that as fuel?
Yeah, we actually talked about it in the locker room that, I thought there was some self-doubt on our faces and with some of our body language in the first half, and I haven't seen that from this team hardly ever. And part of that allowed us to get through that 6-game losing streak. When you go through a stretch like that, it's really easy to point the finger at somebody else, and sometimes it's really easy to point the finger at yourself and lose confidence in yourself. To their credit, they didn't do that. They really tried to uplift one another. They were very process-oriented in practice in terms of what do we have to do to try to get better so that we get out of this slide that we're in, and at the same time continue to move forward as a basketball team and a program. And I think something like that serves us well when something like this happens, because it isn't. Everyone thought the sky was falling at that time. On the outside, we never felt that in the locker room. So that allows us to get over one like this. You have some games where you don't recognize your team. It's happened to almost every team in the country this year, and unfortunately, it happened to us on this stage tonight.
Back to Joel.
R2, obviously, Sule to a season low back in Omaha. I guess, what do you feel went differently with him today? Obviously, it felt like, it became harder to get over those screens. What did you see differently today?
He just got some good looks early. Felt like he saw the ball go in early, and he grew his confidence. And he's a good player. He's gonna make some tough shots. He's been great all year, so credit to him.
All the way in the back.
Coach, a lot has been said about Northeast basketball and how this league is its roots are in the Northeast. But what are the results of this tournament and tomorrow's final say about Midwest basketball?
I don't look at it, our league as 5-6 Northeast teams and 5 Midwest teams. I view it as the Big East, and there's good basketball played in the Big East. And because you have good basketball played with 11 different schools, you're going to have different teams that end up in the finals at different times. And we've been fortunate. We've been in the semifinals 3 or 4 years in a row, and been to the final a couple of years in a row, and we want to get back there. But The league is healthy, and there's good teams everywhere, and, obviously that first game Marquette and UConn could have gone either way, and Marquette had a great win, and Providence has had a heck of a year. So there's been some really good basketball played by all kinds of teams in the league. So, we don't view it at Creighton that we're stuck in the Midwest and in an East Coast league. We're a proud member of the Big East, and we like to fly that flag whenever we can.
Stay in the back there.
This one's for either of the players. Last night you didn't get back into the locker room until after midnight. How much of a factor was fatigue in this matchup tonight?
I think that's just something that both teams had to deal with. Obviously, we played a little later, but you play back-to-back nights. It's going to take a toll on your body. Anytime you do that, it's just one of those things that you got to manage as best you can. And I don't know, it definitely played a role. But I feel like that plays a role for everyone playing in this tournament.
Back to Joel.
Ryan, obviously you've been here a few times now, and you guys have come short in this tournament, but considering the preseason expectations and whatnot, there's still more to play for, and obviously people expect you guys to go on a deep run. I guess how much more weight is there now on a tournament run?
I think this team just, from the beginning of the year, had expectations to hold ourselves to a high standard to go on a deep tournament run. No matter what happened in this tournament, no matter what happened in the regular season, we always had that goal of going on a deep run. I wouldn't say there's any more pressure on us. I think we want it as bad as we did before, maybe probably a little more now. So I wouldn't say there's more pressure on us now. I just want to go play and win some games now.
Last question.
Call for you. Obviously tough loss, but perfect from the floor. 7 of 7, even knocked down a 3. And given you got the tournament next week, and you went down in that first round game at Fort Worth a year ago. How motivated are you to get a little personal payback and help try to lead this team to your goal of getting to the second weekend and beyond?
It's just a great opportunity. Obviously my freshman year we made it to the second weekend, but I didn't have as big a role in that team. Last year's team was a lot of fun to be a part of, and just got hurt the weekend before, and just another great opportunity this year to hopefully stay healthy, win a few games, go to the next weekend, have some fun, and just make a great trip out of it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.